Hi everyone, my name is Crystal. Some of you know me as Mrs. Bumble Shoots if you follow Eric and I on Instagram for Bumble Shoots. I'm here today because we've gotten a couple questions and we thought it would be a good idea to go over some of that with you guys. So the first question that we got was, how did Bumble Shoots come to be? Where did the idea come from? And the second thing is how to use some of the products. So while I am telling you about Bumble Shoots and the name and how we came to Bumble Shoots, I'm actually gonna cut up some fruit that I'm gonna use for baby food later on. And then that way I can show you how to use the product and clean the board. So the first thing that happened actually was my husband was overseas at the time. And while he was overseas, I was actually doing a lot of food prepping and trying to keep myself busy and healthy. And so I actually reached out to my husband and I had asked him if he was okay with me getting an expensive cutting board and asked his thoughts on it. And he said, absolutely, it's an investment, but you're gonna use it all the time. So I ended up going out shopping and I picked up a cutting board that was super expensive. I was so excited. And as soon as I brought it home, I was actually nervous to even cut on it. It was so pretty, and the whole time I kept thinking, I do not want to ruin this cutting board. So for the beginning, I didn't even use it. And then after a while, I did start prepping on it. And the next thing came to be, what do I use to protect the board? The only thing I ever saw my parents do was use water and rinse it off. And honestly, it eventually ended up cracking, and it was so dry. So I started looking up different products, and they were either basically oily or waxy, and I tried both of them, but none of them really left me feeling like excited about the product. My husband came home and he saw me using a product on my cutting board, and he read the ingredients, and the first thing he said was, I can do better. And so we started trying out different things, and eventually we ended up coming to Bumble Shoots, and we decided to add, lemon into it and some other really good products that would really help my board, and we haven't used anything else since. So that's where Bumble Shoots came from. So I just went back and I finished cutting all of my fruit and I put it into the bowl. So now later on when I go to make the baby food, it'll be super simple. And the next part of this video is basically to show you how to use the products that we have for Bumble Shoots to take care of your board. And as you can see, it's definitely a little bit dirty on the board for me cutting and all the fruit. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna bring it over to the sink and I'm going to rinse the board to get it kind of a clean slate. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of water for that. So I'll bring you right over here. Okay, so what I did is I just went over to the sink and I rinsed it all with water, and then I just took a paper towel and I'm just gonna dry the area. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna put soap on it anyways, but it just helps it so that at least we're gonna get the soap on there easily. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the salt, and this is the scrub that's gonna go on the board first. So you're gonna take this and you're gonna open it, and you can use a teaspoon if you want to help you kind of pour it over. I just like to take it and I kind of sprinkle it just so I can cover the board. It'll take about a couple teaspoons depending on the size of your board. Okay, so that's generally about the amount that you need. You can definitely use more or less depending on, what you've used on the cutting board. If you feel you really need a deeper scrub, definitely feel free to use a little bit more, it can't hurt. So I'm gonna put this over here. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this, the soap, and I'm gonna actually open it up right now. And I'm just gonna pour that on there as well. And you want enough that you can actually spread it on the board, but you don't need so much that it's seeping off. All right. So the next really cool feature that we have is our sponges that we use actually to clean the boards, to apply the products that we have. And they almost look like little French fries, but what happens is as soon as you put it under water, it's gonna expand, and that's gonna help you apply the product. So I'm gonna take this over to the sink and I'm gonna run it under water for just a few seconds, and you're gonna see how it can change from this to an actual sponge. Okay, so I just put this under the water. I actually used hot water. It seems to help it open up a little bit faster than if you use cold water. And the next thing I'm gonna do, as you can see here, it's already started actually taking into the salt and absorbing a little bit with the liquid. So it really is not a perfect science. You can kind of do whatever you feel is best. I tend to go in circular motions. And as you can see, it's scrubbing the board. And I know you can't smell anything where you are right now, but it's super lemony. It smells really clean. I love using it because I feel like it makes the house smell really clean. And you can actually hear it, and that's the salt that's actually taking, it's an abrasive for the board, and it's helping clean the board of what we just cut on it. I'm actually gonna take this back to the sink. I'm gonna rinse it off, and I'm also gonna rinse my sponge because I wanna be able to use this multiple times and in between applying the different products, and I don't want the salt or anything else to kind of make the sponge hard. So I'm gonna bring this over. Okay, so now as you can see, the board has now been rinsed off. I've actually even gone and rinsed my sponge, so now it's super pliable again. Where the salt was on it, was getting a little bit hard. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a napkin, and you can use anything you want to dry. You can use a clean cloth as well. And I'm just gonna dry the board. And by drying the board, it's gonna help the other products adhere a little bit better. So I'm gonna dry it. And it doesn't have to be super dry, just trying to get most of the water off. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put on the serum. This serum is definitely really good if you haven't had a chance to do the board too much in terms of conditioning it. This is something that you may even have to apply a couple times. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna take it and you're gonna apply a general amount, just enough that's gonna coat the board. And I always start off with a little bit and then you can always add more. So I'm gonna take this applicator again, and you don't have to use one of these. You can also use another cloth if you want to apply it. So I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna see how much needs to go in. Everybody's board's different, and if you haven't treated in a while, it might really soak it up. So as you can tell, the amount that I put on does the whole board. So you don't need too much, it goes a long way for sure. All right. So now that I've applied the serum and it's well distributed on there, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna apply the conditioner. And usually between the serum and the conditioner, I don't need to rinse it. It's really the salt that makes me rinse in between the use. And you're gonna take a decent amount, and I would say about a tablespoon to start, and then apply it, and then you can always go back in and grab a little bit more. And on the jar, you're gonna notice that it tells you right here that it's good for cutting boards, and then it even gives the directions on the back, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes to you. So I'm just gonna apply, and I kinda do 3 basic ones here, and then I just rub it in. And so the serum is really good for a deep hydration, and you don't need to use it as often, but the conditioner you definitely want to use more frequently, definitely every couple uses of the cutting board, depending on how dry it is. You're going to use that more frequently, where the serum is going to be more of, a deeper hydration. All right. All right, and then also with this, which is really nice, which I'm going to talk more about this in a second once I go over the box, is it actually has all natural beeswax in it. And I'll share with you a little bit more about that when I open up the box and show you guys how it's going to come to you if you order the Ultimate Care Kit. So as you can see, I've pretty much went in and I've gone through and I've made sure that it's all rubbed into the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead, put the lid on this for you guys. All right, so this is the kit that I just used. I already had one open because I do this all the time at my house. And we love it so much, so I do it pretty much every time I use the cutting board. I'll use the conditioner and I'll use the salt kit to clean it. And then every once in a while, I'll kind of make sure to hit it with the serum. So this is what the cutting board is gonna look like once you have gone in and you've used all the products. Then the next thing you can do is you can let it sit. You can let it sit overnight. Sometimes if I feel like I've used the board a bunch, I like to go ahead and clean it, take care of it, put the serum on, also put the conditioner on, and then I go to bed and the next morning it's ready to go. But sometimes I don't have the time for that. So I quickly clean it and I'll put the conditioner on it and then I can cut right away if I want to. You don't need to wait, but sometimes if I have the time, I will. So now that I've shown you guys that, I just wanted to quickly go over with you guys what the box would look like if it comes to you. So as you can see, my hands are a little bit wet, so sorry about that, but it'll have a sticker on it so you know right away that Bumble Shoots is the package, and that's what's inside of it. And it's really exciting, actually. It looks like a gift and a present on the inside. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so it's tightly packaged in here. So right when you open it, you're gonna actually see that it comes with a card. We just started recently adding these and it's been super helpful. And so even if you don't have time to look at the directions on the back of them, it even comes with this, which tells you exactly how to care for your cutting board. And it says number 1, rinse and wash. 2, soak and seal, which is referring to this, the serum, as well as the wood conditioner. And then it talks about buff and enjoy. So that's on the back side of the card that you can see right here. So that's gonna be right on top. And then the next thing that you're gonna see inside here is we've actually gone ahead and added this paper product, which is all natural and recyclable. And in there we actually have, let me take some of this out for you, the soap kit. So it comes in this nice gray bag and it actually has a little drawstring on it that you can pull and keep all of your items if you want inside of it together. But it comes with the soap and then it comes with the applicator as well as the salt. So that's what you're gonna get here, and that's what we used earlier when we used the salt and the soap and the applicator. And then also in there, you're gonna see the 4-ounce all-in-one wood conditioner. And on the top of each one is a label, and it actually shares with you where we got the beeswax from. So in this case, it says made in the US, beeswax from Hampstead, New Hampshire. So that's really nice, a nice touch on there that we actually make sure we go to the beehive. My husband will go and he actually meets the person who has the bees and he takes the wax from them. So it's always really good. And then also you'll see its bag. This is the wood serum that it also comes with. And you always see that we will bag it just to make sure, has a cap and then the directions and the label on the front. But a really cute package. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. You can go on our website. The link and everything will be located below. So yeah, well, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you.